recommendation, because that shit was special. Okay, and now to the core 5. So far, nothing super terrible jumping out at me here. I really, really didn't like Assassin's Creed Shadows at all, but I'm just not a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Yeah, we can do the worst games of the year now. Here, we'll do that now. Alright. I already know what the worst game of the year is, but I'd have to really think on what second, third, fourth, and fifth place would be. I played so many games this year. Unlike last year where I missed out on a lot, this year I played, like, the entire kit and caboodle of, like, everything that came out. If your old 4th grade English professor found Unity assets and put something on Steam for $50, I probably played it at some point. I played everything. And yet, this year was so stacked, I still missed some bangers that I need to go back and play. But this year, I've got a firm handle on, like, every game that came out. You skipped every Nintendo game. Yeah, well, aside from Nintendo games, I literally played 0. They can hold my Johnson. So I already know what the worst is. Now we need to find what's almost as bad. I don't want to cheap out on it and do like the really small, terrible indie games that I've played. I don't think that's super fun. I feel like that's a little too easy. And there's nothing that I played that was so incredibly shitty in that area that I would put it there. So I really gotta think. I gotta rack my brain. I want to give an honorable mention to something that, by all definitions, is not a good game, but it's probably one of the most unique experiences I've ever had gaming. It is I can't even remember the name of it. It was called, like, Learn to Fight, Fight with Me, Time for Fight and Fighting or something. Hold on, I have a video of it on the gaming channel, and I can't remember the name right now. But I want to start with an honorable mention here. Honorable mention to this game right here. This is such a fun one. Hack and Slash Fury. That's what it is. Hack and Slash Fury. Time to blow me away. This is very... Just look at this.
All. Impressive. The Dark Warriors. To beat it. Matt years ago. With an earthquake. Yeah. It was very much time ago.
It was indeed very much time ago. Hack and Slash Fury, legitimately I had a wonderful time playing, but you could make an argument that it's not an incredible game. I want to give it an honorable mention here, but also a recommendation, because that shit was special. Okay, and now to the core 5. So far, nothing super terrible jumping out at me here. I really, really didn't like Assassin's Creed Shadows at all, but I'm just not a huge Assassin's Creed fan. So I don't think it's necessarily like an objectively shitty game. It's just a game and a franchise that I am so beyond bored with. I'll keep it up there as a just in case, because it is my top 5 list. I'm not scientifically looking at the worst games of the year. It's the ones I had the least amount of fun with, and that would definitely be in there. Is this iRobot, like the Will Smith movie? No. Oh my god. Wow, wait. This is a remake of a really old game. I remember this from back on like the old school computers. At least I think it's the same one, based on that cover art. Yeah, most of the games so far have just been either average or good up till this point, except for Assassin's Creed Shadow. At least for the ones I've played, obviously. Oh man. Not including like the really small games I played this year might make this top 5 very difficult. I think you skipped FBC Firebreak. Did I? I don't think so. No, yeah, it was coming up in June. FBC Firebreak is definitely going to be on the top 5 worst of the year, though. That's for sure. Oh, wow. June is where the worst game of the year came out, too. Big month for shitters. Holy. I'll get more into Mind's Eye later, but I think everyone knows this is the worst game of the year. And it's not even a close competition. This is, not only is the game disastrously horrible, but everything that happened afterwards is just a remarkable clown show. with Leslie making a fool of himself constantly, saying that the only reason it's getting negative reviews is because of sabotage and like jealousy or whatever. Well, we'll get more into that one in a minute. FBC Firebreak is definitely in the top 5 worst of the year, no doubt. Didn't play Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Finally sat out one of those games. Much to the chagrin of chat. I don't know how many times I had to reiterate I'm not playing that. I just do not like the franchise. I might put this in my top 5 worst games just because of how miserable chat was for me not playing this. Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact. I was going to play, but everyone said it was really bad, so I didn't play, and then it looked like there was a lot of very fun, crazy tech in it, and then I was tempted to play it again, then never did. Killing Floor 3, similar story. Was pumped to play Killing Floor 3. Everyone said it blew ass, and then I just didn't play it. Maybe I should have, just for the sake of the top 5 worst games of the year. It's not too late. True, maybe I could play Killing Floor 3 tonight and see if it makes my top 5 worst of the year. Oh, this is definitely in the top 5 worst of the year. The House of the Dead 2 remake. Holy shit, did they butcher that. That was a disaster. Star Wars Outlaws. Wait, didn't that come out last year? Yeah, 2024. Oh, it's a port. That would have definitely been on my top 5 worst. I hated that game. That shit was so unbelievably boring. I think that made my top 5 worst for 2024. Wow. We're almost to the end of the year. And I actually only have 4 games that I genuinely really didn't didn't like. At least from like the big releases. Little Nightmares 3 was pretty disappointing just because of how short it was, but that definitely isn't enough to put it in the top 5 worst by any means. But it was pretty underwhelming. It wasn't made by the original Little Nightmares team, which explains it, but still. Kind of a shame. Skipped King of Meat. Did I? That's what I was looking for. Was King of Meat in here? Oh, you're right. It just doesn't even have its own Wikipedia. Imagine paying unfathomable amounts of money, no doubt 7 figures, for like a Mr. Beast dedicated video and all of like the streamer influencer marketing, and not even being big enough to have a Wikipedia page for your game. That's crazy. Wow. Definitely King of Meat though in the top 5 worst of the year. Not even objectively one of the worst games of the year, but very similar to like a Concord level failure where tons of money was clearly poured into this project only for it to be a complete colossal flop. So that definitely has to make it just for that reason. Oh no, I gotta go all the way back. Oh, Let It Die. The new Let It Die game. That would probably... Man, maybe I should play some of these like absolutely terrible games just for the sake of this top 5. Because I know the new Let It Die game would definitely be on there. It's a pay-to-win disaster. We went over it on stream not long ago. I know if I played Let It Die or Killing Floor 3, they'd probably squeak out a spot on this. Well, that's enough Let It Die Inferno forever. I can comfortably finish the top 5 worst games of the year. Assassin's Creed Shadow does not make the cut. At number 5, it'll be House of the Dead 2 Remake. This is probably one of the worst remakes you'll ever find for anything. When I played through this on the gaming channel on a whim, I didn't know it was so bad. They completely ruined House of the Dead 2. So that comfortably gets number 5. At number 4, Let It Die Inferno. Like, after having just played it for, what, hour and a half or something, which isn't a lot. It's barely enough for like 2 or 3 Hellgate runs. It's slower than the first, but the reason it's here should be pretty obvious. It literally paywalls you from basic content. So I bought the $25 game, which I already knew was littered with microtransactions, but when I tried to create a room, which is what I believe to be a pretty basic feature, and it's right there at your fucking fingertips, when you try and create it, it says you can't do that unless you upgrade to Deluxe Edition, which is $45. That is unfathomable amounts of greed that I just truly cannot believe exists. So that is why it is easily in the number 4 slot. Even though there are some things to like about the game, that is unacceptable. Number 3, FBC Firebreak. What a stinker. This game was a miserable 4.5 hour experience. Like, it was fine in the beginning. It's just like a very simple game. But within the first 30 minutes, you have seen and experienced everything this game has to offer. So FBC Firebreak is pretty easily there as well. Also, one of the first games that I played for the gaming channel, by the way, when I launched that. Number 2, King of Meat. King of Meat should be obvious. Even though I think like there is some fun to be had with the game if you and your buddies, want to do something for a little bit as like a adventure together, you could maybe squeeze like half an hour of fun out of it. Maybe. But it's also a $30 game for what feels like a free-to-play mobile experience. And it is also a colossal flop on the level that the likes of which we haven't seen to this level since like Concord. Millions of dollars went into this, as well as marketing for this with Mr. Beast, influencers, and all kinds of shit, and ads out the wazoo, even like Discord orbs, and nobody played it. Peak player count of 320. Like, it's just a disaster across the board. And then number 1, a surprise to nobody, it's Mind's Eye. This game, there's not a single redeeming quality to this game. Everything that could go wrong with a game went wrong with this game, and Leslie, being as delusional as he is, made it even worse, put the actual bow on top of this shit package by just being a complete asshole about everyone who was criticizing it. The game just super sucks. And it was broken. Again, everything that could go wrong with a game went wrong with Mind's Eye. Hot take, Mind's Eye better than FBC Firebreak. That is a hot take, I disagree. As an FBC Firebreak hater, I can tell you confidently you're wrong. This game, you didn't play it then. I played this shit start to finish, and my god does it blow ass. This was the easiest one for the top 5 worst slots. He actually beat Mind's Eye, what a warrior. Hey, I'm no hero. I did it for the gaming channel, baby. Beat Mind's Eye, but not Hack and Slash Fury. I know. Isn't that a bitch? You also beat FBC Firebreak. Damn right. Mind's Eye 2 will redeem it. Hey, I actually wouldn't put it past Leslie to try and make a Mind's Eye 2. I genuinely think there is a non-zero chance he actually tries a Mind's Eye 2. They had the gall to put out DLC for Mind's Eye only like a month ago, by the way. For all zero Mind's Eye enthusiasts. Try it? Absolutely not. That's not even fun as a joke. I would hate doing that. I would absolutely hate going into the Mind's Eye DLC. The protagonist VA did an okay job, though. I feel bad for whoever plays the main character here. I said it during the game, too. Like, that guy is trying, and I know he also got shafted with Mafia 3 as well. He's a talented performer. But whoever his agent is, he needs to dump ASAP, because they are choosing some shit for him. Don't you want to know what happens to Jacob Diaz? Was that the name of the main character in Mind's Eye? I couldn't even tell you. Oh yeah, Jacob Diaz. I don't even... The only thing I remember about it is when the fucking aliens come into the fold. I actually lost my mind when they brought in, like, the interdimensional being aspect of the story. The actor also did Gotham Knights. Bro is not catching a break. Did he do Gotham Knights as well? God, man, that's rough. There's still one more bad game, Lost Soul aside. I still haven't played that one. That's such a shame, because I was really looking forward to that game. I followed the project for a long time, but genuinely everyone said that it's bad. I do still plan on giving it a shake, though. That just came out during, like, the worst possible period, because so many games were coming out.